Howdy, guys. Welcome to night 68 of Big Brother All-Stars. And this is Cliff Notes from outside the Big Brother house. Welcome. We're going to talk about all the conversations that took place last night. Now, today we've got the veto ceremony. So certainly there's been a lot of game talk last night as people are trying to convince Nicole to use or to not use the veto. We're going to cover every bit of it. We'll start off your Monday morning, your work week, with a little Big Brother conversation. I'm so happy y'all are here and on board. So let's get right to it, because it was a long conversation, a long evening. Just to give you an idea, Memphis was still up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning Big Brother time. So a very special night indeed. So let's see if we can get it all squeezed in 15 minutes. I'll get y'all up to speed. All right, first of all, let's talk in the kitchen. Cody and Enzo are talking. I think Christmas is out on the hammock. Enzo's out in the backyard somewhere. Nicole is in the diary room. So this is just Cody and Enzo talking. Enzo thinks that keeping Memphis truly is best for his game and for Cody's game. Cody is disagreeing, saying, I absolutely disagree, Enzo. And Cody says, look, Enzo, who do you think you can more easily beat in competitions right now between Memphis and Christmas? Well, Enzo responds as, I don't know, man. Memphis is kind of in a slump right now, so maybe Memphis. And Enzo also says, here's the other thing, Cody. If I and Nicole were on the block together, I truly think Christmas would cut me, man. I think she would send me home and keep Nicole, whereas I don't think Memphis would do that. Memphis would send Nicole home and keep me. So Enzo is feeling a little safer with Memphis right now than he is with Christmas. Cody, on the other hand, is suggesting that Memphis is a much stronger threat, especially on the mental competitions, but he's also talking about endurance competitions. He's saying, Enzo threw a few here and there, but he talked about that in Enzo's past season, how strong he was on some of the ones at the end. Enzo's had enough injuries, real or fake. I'm not sure which they are, but I'm not sure Enzo is the absolute best at endurance comps as composed to Christmas. But from a mental competition standpoint, I think Cody's got a good point. But it sure sounds like there's a little bit of variation in terms of Cody really wanting to send Memphis out the door and Enzo really thinking that Christmas may be a little bit better for his game. This will be the theme of the evening. A lot of discussions back and forth, and we'll cover those as we continue forward. Cody talks about some more. He's also very sure that Memphis will target Cody if Memphis wins the next POV. Yet another reason why he wants Memphis out the door. Although here's the thing, and Cody said it yesterday as well. Really, whether it's Christmas or Memphis, whoever's left, if either one of them wins HOH and POV, they're both going to be targeting Cody. That's just the nature of Cody's position right now. They're debating whether Memphis and Christmas consider Cody and Enzo or Cody and Memphis to be the tightest, the most dangerous duo. Because really that'll determine if they're trying to break up who they consider to be the most dangerous duo. Again, it looks like Cody's the common bond between those two different groups. But if they had a chance, it's all trying to figure out who's going to vote for who if you get to that final four, and suddenly that POV winner is determining who does not go to final three. Memphis enters the kitchen about this point in time. They start talking about Christmas, who's still outside. Memphis is saying she is spinning out of control. She's getting way too intense right now with her campaigning, her going along wherever Nicole is, trying to talk to her, convince her to use the veto. And he is saying, look, if Nicole doesn't use the veto, Christmas is going to go absolutely crazy. She's going to go bonkers. She's not going to be real happy. I think Christmas is much more confident than that the veto is going to be used than truly is the case. Memphis is saying, guys, Christmas is so intense right now and everything, but the wise guys, we're going to have the last laugh. Well, Memphis, don't get too confident in your position. Some of the wise guys may get the last laugh, but it may not be all three of you. And Memphis is the odd man out in this particular situation. So he's feeling pretty comfortable that he's in a good position, that Christmas is the target this week, whether the veto is used or not. May not be the case, Memphis. All right, in the photo room, Cody and Enzo are talking. Lots of conversations between Cody and Enzo, because if Nicole does not use the veto, it's Cody and Enzo who are casting the two votes to decide who goes or doesn't go. And they've already said they want to try to vote together. So there'll be more conversations as we go through the rest of the week. So in the photo room, Cody and Enzo. Cody is saying that Nicole, she's buying all this stuff that Christmas is telling her right now, saying, oh, you need to go after Cody. Cody's the big threat, all of that. I'm not sure that Nicole is buying it as much as Cody is suggesting to Enzo that she is. I think Nicole knows more what's going on. Cody is also saying that Christmas just voted to send Nicole home, Enzo. So if you're on the block with Nicole, do you really think Christmas is going to send you home, or is she going to send Nicole home, who just voted to send her out the door? So yeah, I think there's a point to be made there. But on the other hand, Christmas very well may feel like she can grab Nicole and use her to go after the guys in such a situation. So there is that option as well. Enzo is thinking that Memphis, I think we talked about this before, but he says again that he thinks Memphis will cut Nicole over Cody. Nah, I don't think that's the case, Enzo. I think Cody is target number one, regardless of who's up there. Cody is worried that if they somehow burn Nicole by sending Christmas home, that she'll feel like the bottom of the barrel with regards to their little group, their alliance, and that she might do something more aggressive. She might decide to flip last minute. That means she may not feel like she has the loyalty to Enzo and Cody that she has right now. Now, I'm not real sure how sending Christmas out would be considered a burn of Nicole, other than just if they did it without consulting Nicole or going against Nicole's wishes. And then she may be upset. But if they wanted to go that direction, I think they could get Nicole on board as well. I don't think it's going to happen, though. All right. They finish up. Cody, again, is certain that he's Memphis' top target, which I agree. They finish up this particular conversation by agreeing that Memphis is the target for right now. So even though Enzo has said earlier that he feels better with Memphis, he's going along with Cody. Yeah, big surprise there. And saying, yeah, like, yo, man, we'll go for Memphis. That's fine. They are agreeing that Nicole wants Memphis out also because they think she's probably already made some kind of an agreement with Christmas, which, yeah, I'm sure she has, whether it's an official or not. But Nicole certainly would feel more comfortable with Christmas if Memphis went out the door. So yet another reason why Nicole also is pushing for Memphis, even though Christmas and Nicole have had their beefs in the past, even though Christmas voted to send Nicole out the door. You know, strange bedfellows and all of that analogy. All right, so in the HOH room, we've got Nicole and Christmas talking. Again, Christmas is doing a lot of campaigning. Nicole is saying that she wants to keep the nominations the same. Memphis is a huge threat, and he put me up during that triple eviction, so why shouldn't I send Memphis home? So there's two things. One, she's trying to let Christmas know that she doesn't want to use a veto, and two, she's letting her know that Christmas is not her target. Christmas is safe, so she shouldn't get so upset about it because Memphis is heading out the door. That's all true, but that doesn't mean that Christmas is going to be any less nervous and worried about the whole situation. Christmas is telling Nicole that the three guys are working together and that if Cody stays beyond this week, he's gonna win the whole thing. She's also saying if Cody wins HOH, he won't cut Enzo. He's not going to do that. So it's either going to be myself or you, Nicole. That's just the way it is. So she's trying to sell why Nicole really needs to go after Cody. And I get it. There's certainly the strategy to be said for get out the strong player right now of Cody. The problem is if she does that, then she alienates Enzo, and then she has Christmas and Memphis, who are a strong duo on the other side. And she's not going to be friends with either one of those, not really. So it puts her out of the frying pan into the fire. She's in a rough situation either way. She doesn't cast a vote this week anyway, but she does have the option for the veto. But yeah, so, all right. Nicole is saying she wants both her and Christmas to move forward, which is true. Nicole is again saying that Memphis scares her, that she would really, really need to feel very comfortable with him before she made any kind of deal with him. And Christmas tells Nicole, says, hey, Enzo is just telling people what you want to hear. She's trying to create some wedges between Enzo and Cody and Nicole throughout the whole evening, I think, trying to create the suspicion. So she's saying, Enzo's just saying what you want to hear. Don't trust anything that he tells you. Christmas is telling Nicole also that she needs to game talk with Enzo and she needs to start making deals. And that kind of perturbs Nicole a little bit. We'll hear more about it a little bit later. So in the HOH room, Enzo and Nicole are now talking. As soon as Christmas got done with her conversation, Nicole immediately went down, grabbed Enzo and said, hey, Enzo, come up here. She tells Enzo, says, look, Christmas was pushing for me to use a veto and backdoor Cody, no surprise. But she also told me I need to talk to you. I need to work out deals with you and everything else. So Enzo, I'm calling you up here just because I know Christmas is watching. So she knows that I'm up here trying to make a deal with you. So Nicole's asking Enzo, saying, hey, can you tell Christmas when you get a chance that you lied to me when you told me I was final three and that you don't really have a final three with me at all? Nicole is upset that Christmas is trying to tell her how to play the game. She's saying, well, Christmas thinks I don't have a final three or any kind of alliances already. I'm just this lone wolf up here. She has no clue. Cody comes in right after that, and they bring him up to speed that Christmas wants to backdoor him. It's not a surprise, but Cody's still a little perturbed that she's pushing so hard for the backdoor. Cody's joking that all that matters next week is the veto. And he's suggesting if he wins HOH, he'll put Enzo and Nicole up on the block just so he can mess with Christmas when the veto's won, and he puts her up in place of Cody or in place of Nicole or Enzo. And he's right. Yeah, all that matters is a veto to determine who goes home next week. But Nicole hates that. She says, do not do that. Do not put the two of us on the block. I would never forgive you. Do not do it. She is very upset. Cody's joking. I don't think Nicole is. All right. In the key room, Memphis and Christmas are talking downstairs while the other three are up in the HOH room. Christmas is saying that she told Nicole how tight Enzo and Cody were. She also is saying, Memphis, Nicole straight out told me that you are her biggest threat, and you need to go up and talk to Nicole. You need to hash this out, try to make whatever kind of deals it takes to get on board with Nicole, to get her to use a veto. Christmas is saying, look, Nicole plays based on feelings, not on strategy or analysis, so just make her feel good about you and y'all can make something happen. Memphis says, okay, Christmas wants him to go talk to Nicole. So he gets up, walks around, realizes they're all upstairs. He comes back in, tells Christmas. She gets perturbed, says, oh, go try again. He does that 3 or 4 times, waiting for the group upstairs to break up. Meanwhile, Cody and Nicole and Enzo are upstairs freaking out every time they see Memphis walking around. Eventually, Cody leaves. Memphis goes upstairs, just sits outside the HOH room in the lounge area until finally Enzo leaves so he can talk to Nicole. So now we've got Memphis and Nicole in the HOH room. Memphis is trying to make a deal. He's saying, look, if I win veto next week, Nicole, you will be in my final 3. He's also saying, I owe no one anything. I have no other final 3s. I owe no one anything. So this is a big deal for me to offer it to you. Well, Nicole knows he's lying. She knows about the wise guy. So she knows he's lying straight to her face. He also says, hey, I'll even let you pick. If I win the veto, I'll let you pick who goes home. Yeah, I'll let you have full power next week. Nicole is definitely not buying this, but she is playing along and not letting on that this is just a no-go for her. Memphis talks about, hey, if you do this, if you backdoor Cody, this is the big move that's going to win this thing for you. Memphis leaves. Nicole says to the camera, do they think I'm stupid? Do they really think that I'm going to use a veto? So again, she's not using a veto. Nicole grabs Enzo at this point, drags him back up to the HOH room and tells him all about what Memphis just told her. They both agree that Memphis is lying. He's crazy to think it'll work. Nicole is saying that she's lying about using the veto to Memphis. She's saying she may use it just so he doesn't realize that she is as tight as she is and working with Cody and Enzo. I think he knows. Oh, well, maybe not. I mean, obviously not so much if he thinks that the back door has a possibility of working. Christmas is awake in the bathroom waiting for someone, not sure who. Eventually, Nicole walks in, and Christmas immediately latches on to her, says, hey, I just wanted to check in. I know you've had these conversations. Did they go anywhere? Nicole says, talk to Cody Enzo, but not really about the game that much. She's trying to sound very non-committal. So Christmas says, I'll check in with you later then. Enzo, meanwhile, is on the couch in the HOH room listening to music while Nicole showers. Then Nicole gets in bed. She's upset that Memphis said that Christmas is a stronger threat and stronger player than Nicole is. That really perturbs her. She said, why would he say that I'm not as good a player as Christmas is? She doesn't like that. Eventually, she kind of drifts off, goes sleep. Enzo is still up there. But before that, she says that Cody is at risk. I think Enzo says, Cody's at risk, but really you and I, Nicole, we're looking really good. No one's targeting us right here. And he's right. I truly think Christmas and Memphis are overplaying their hands at this point, pushing so hard for the veto. It's just creating a little more animosity than it really needs. I think they may be better off focusing on their own campaigns, but they're giving it a go. All right, guys. So that wraps it up for the evening. Everyone's in bed. Just a real quick reminder. We didn't have an episode of Big Brother last night, but we do have it tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central on CBS. Immediately following the Big Brother episode, I'm going to be doing my Cliff Notes live show on the free TV Co app. That'll be at, again, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Interactive. I'll be answering all kinds of questions, talking about the episode and Big Brother in general. In addition to the TV Co app, it's also streaming on a lot of different platforms, including YouTube. Check the end page at the very end of this video. It'll show you how to find me on all the different streaming platforms. And again, we'll talk for an hour. I'll answer as many questions as I can get around to and talk talk about what we think this next week is going to bring about. All right, guys, y'all have a fantastic Monday, and I will see y'all in 24 hours. By then, we'll know whether the veto was used or not. It won't be. Cheers, guys. SKD 143.